is going on, everyone? This is a new podcast, a different outlook, if you will. Normally, we're talking sports, going heavy on the Sixers, we're going heavy on the Eagles, the Phillies, but this is a dry week. There's really not much going on. The All-Star game, it was what it was. It was a snooze fest. Today, I have one of my best friends on, Eric Robinson, and we are here to just hang out. Have a cold one, if you will. I'm going with the Stella Artois. We're going to hang out, talk some hockey, talk about the good times, share some laughs. Eric, welcome. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Brodes podcast. How are you today?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, stop. Come on. So what is your cold beverage of choice today?
This is the Superior Light Beer, the Michelob Ultra.
Are you watching the calories?
Yeah, I am a bit. You know, it's summertime.
That's fantastic. So how is everything going right now?
Going well. Just training this summer, living with my brother, living the life right now.
Living the life. That's fantastic. So for everyone who doesn't know, Eric is currently with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Is that the proper way to go with this? You are within the organization, if that's how the hockey terminology goes?
Yeah, in the organization is a good way to put it, I guess.
Well, there's a funny story with that. So when I had my first gig as an intern, I did a sports minute, and it was for minor league baseball players in South Jersey. So they opened it up, and I had to write my little script, and I'm reading it. I'm like, with the Los Angeles Angels organization. And the people behind me all started cracking up, laughing. They made me stop. And I'm like, well, what did I do? What did I do?
Really, that's not a thing.
Yeah, no, organization is like the most hockey thing in the world. It's organization. You can't put the I. It's not an I. It's it. I didn't even know.
So it's the way you're pronouncing it.
Yeah, it's organization.
Organization.
Yeah, see, that's so hockey, dude. That's very jerk off. It really is.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing. We're just picking it up from Canadian hockey players.
Yeah, but see, I didn't notice it. I never noticed it either. I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening?
No, I would have never thought twice about that. That sounded great to me.
That's funny. So before we dive into some good times that we had in our prime of our hockey careers, you just got off Fortnite. How did that go?
It was an okay night. You know, the kind of night where you're playing well, you're feeling good, but you're not getting any wins.
That's soft out of you. See, I'm not a big Fortnite guy. You know that. I'm old school. I'm playing Call of Duty, Search and Destroy. I can't get rid of the Call of Duty in me.
No, I've outgrown Call of Duty and now play a 12-year-old game, Fortnite.
You join the 6-year-olds, huh? Yeah, you know you're getting your ass kicked by some 6-year-olds every night.
Yeah, it's all kids. It's summer. They're all off from school, and they're just working me.
That is amazing. So this past year, you ended up playing some games, and I want to know the experience you had with your first game. You got the call up. You're playing in the NHL. You skate out in Nashville, of all places. The place is wild. It's such an electric arena. What is that like, your first NHL game? Were you nervous? I mean, I remember when we were younger, we would sleep over all the time, stay up till 3 a.m. playing like NHL video games. And then, let's be real, we never thought to the extent of, wow, one day I'm going to be doing this. And you had that opportunity. What's it like?
Yeah, it's wild, like you said, to even think about, like, from when you're a kid. Like, that's all the stuff you're thinking about leading up to the game. It's just, wow, I can't believe this is a real thing right now. It's surreal. You don't even really believe it, and all the time I'm thinking, wow, I really don't want to mess this up. Like, I want to play well, like, but yeah, you're just nervous, and it takes a few shifts. You get into it eventually, but
yeah, it totally just chirped you. By the way.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's cool.
We all knew this guy was never going to make it.
Well, time out. When we were 14 years old, as much as we all dreamed it, did you really know it was going to happen?
Come on. I had like 30 points at Gloucester Catholic and thought I was sick.
This is absolutely amazing already. I'm so happy this is happening.
No, but like you said, Nashville is absolutely wild. It was packed for warm-ups, and I don't know if, many people know about the hockey tradition of your first game, you skate out for warm-ups and the team pulls back and you do a few laps alone. So I'm the only one on the ice with 10,000 people there watching. And if you actually watch the highlight of mine, I screwed it up a bit. So
whoa, what did you do?
So all the pucks are stacked up on the bench, right? The first guy out knocks a few off so you can take a few shots.
Of course.
I forgot to knock the pucks off. So I took 3 or 4 hard laps, just no puck. I
That's
had
okay.
no idea what to do.
I thought you were gonna say that you knocked him off, but that was like PK's or not PK. That's Nashville. Seth Jones. That was his tradition. He knocks
No,
it off. So you
no,
knocked it off before the captain or something like that.
no,
Or
no one cares about that kind of stuff. It was just bad that I was like, do I skate back to the bench and grab one, or do I just keep going until someone joins me out here?
what if you went for you skate around the net and it's like, oh, maybe now I'll do it, and you knock them all into the bench by mistake. So now it's like backwards, and you got to somehow get them back on the ice.
I'm on the bench individually tossing them onto the ice. Yeah,
That's absolutely phenomenal. So I got to ask you this because from an outsider's perspective, I think he's a goofball, but a very passionate goofball. What is Tortsy like, John Tortorella? I mean, this guy. If you are a hockey fan, you respect how crazy he is, but it's a good crazy. It's like this guy is so passionate about the game of hockey. I'm just curious from an insider's perspective, what is Torts like?
yeah. I think you nailed it with the word passionate. He really wants to win, and I think he really cares about everyone. I really enjoy playing for him. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks, and I think that's something you got to respect because or a bad thing, whatever, he thinks or whatever's on his mind or, whatever he sees from you, he's just going to tell you. And you have to respect it because, he's not beating around the bush with you at all.
You know what? That's a good way to have it, though, because, I've had coaches in the past, and it's like a mind game. I'd
Yeah.
rather just know, like, hey, man, this is how it is. I don't want to, oh, am I playing this weekend? Am I not close to the lineup? Oh, just keep working hard. Maybe you'll get there. Well, what does that mean? Am I close? Am I not close? Let me know.
Right. He'll tell you what you're doing wrong. Like, oh, why am I not playing? He'll tell you, or if you get sent down or, whatever may happen, you know the reason why it's happening because he's going to tell you right to your face. And, he's really easy to talk to actually as if it doesn't seem that way, it actually is. And, he'll like it if you give it back to him for sure,
That's awesome.
Which I definitely won't. I can't, but
Not yet.
yeah, no, definitely not.
That's funny. So let's dive into some more casual conversation, not so much the professional hockey part of it. And I want to go into the route of juniors because I'm at this point now where the way my hockey career ended with Stevenson, where it was just a locker room that was, it didn't end great. The locker room wasn't fantastic. It wasn't the smoothest way to end things. So I was thinking the other day, a lot of driving time through work. I always bash hockey now. It's, oh, hockey sucks because of the way it ended. But then I was thinking all the great times. And I'm like, wow, there are so many fantastic times. And I've just been on this mental, grind when I'm driving up Vermont when I played juniors and in Boston when I played juniors. Let's go back to the junior days right now. And isn't it funny to think about when we were in high school and so excited for juniors and everything we went through? You had the year in Dubuque. What was Dubuque like playing in the USHL? Like, give me a funny story. I'll give you one first. Maybe I'll give you some time to think about it. Just in Vermont, my first year in Vermont in the Eastern Hockey League, we get there in early August, so the University of Vermont people weren't there yet. So all the boys were on Tinder. And they're like, let's have a house party. We don't know anyone. We all moved to Vermont. No one's from Vermont. So we're on Tinder. Hey, we're having, a hockey party. Come on over. Let's hang out. So everyone just assumes we're the University of Vermont hockey team, right? So they're all like, oh, wow, This is sick, UVM hockey house. So for the first 2 weeks, there were some local people who go to UVM from Vermont. They're over all first 2 weeks. We're like, this is great. Then the UVM hockey team comes to campus, and everyone finds out we're not them, and we lost about 95% of all the chicks that came that came and hung out with us. So I just thought that was funny. Like,
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, come on over. Like, and they just assumed. It's not like we went out there and said, they're like, oh, a hockey house in Vermont. Of course, it's got to be right on campus. Right. Little did they know the good old Eastern hockey team was really the hockey players.
Tricked them. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, any funny stories out there in Dubuque? I know Iowa is in. Well, how was Iowa? Is it not as bad as it sounds coming from an East Coast guy here?
I mean, it was definitely different than what we're used to on the East Coast. It was actually a pretty big town, Dubuque. I think like over 50,000 people, but
oh, that is pretty big.
but pretty much you drive a mile in any direction outside the city, and you don't see another person or a house for the next 100 miles. So
That
it
sounds
is
terrible.
definitely secluded in the middle of nowhere, and I think that kind of led to like a lot of great times and great stories because there was really nothing to do. So like you said, which made it great. We just were always hanging out with the boys, video games all the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Junior things.
Yeah. Junior
Yeah,
things. Yeah, some
yeah.
good times.
But yeah, no, I actually had a really great time. We had a really great group in Dubuque, and I mean, anytime you put 20, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids together living away from home for the first time, that freedom, it's going to lead to some good times and probably some pretty wild stories.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember we were in high school. Juniors was just everything we thought of. Like we want to play juniors. All your friends from high school going to college or doing their thing, but we were so focused on juniors. Now you only played 1 year. I got 3 years of it.
Yeah.
So the summers of when it hits late July and you're like, wow, I can't wait for juniors again. It was
Yeah,
just
one was good
a
for
great
me.
time. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this because all the road trips. It actually came up because I never listen to music anymore. So I was sitting there listening to music. I'm like, wow, I never have time. And when I used to crush music was on the road trips. And I don't have 6-hour bus trips anymore, 7-hour bus trips. When you were on the bus in juniors and even when you were in school playing at Princeton, what was your go-to? Were you a Netflix guy? Were you a music guy, podcast guy? Like I was shocker, big sports radios man, and I would sit there in the front and just sleep, like lay
Can't
down the
picture
whole
that.
6 hours of Mikey Miss or whatever the case may be, and I just sports radioed it the whole time. What did you go with?
Definitely not sports radio.
Come on, man! You didn't listen to the Sports Talk with Brodes podcast? That wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah, it was back in the day. I'm not sure how long ago it was. Juniors, so long ago now. I don't even remember what I was doing back then. Princeton was pretty much just you either did some homework or slept pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah, you weren't like a big. See,
Yeah.
did you guys have good Wi-Fi on the bus, or was it obnoxiously terrible?
No, you'd have to download a movie. Yeah, it's terrible. Like anywhere you go, pretty much.
Yeah, it's funny because in the EHL where I played, it was most people did like the rent the bus for the weekend kind of thing. Not many teams had their own bus, but
Yeah.
we actually had our own bus. So it
Oh,
was
really?
sick. It had our logo on the side, but the owner it wasn't great execution. So there were 4 TVs on the bus that came from the ceiling. So like they were like 35-inch flat screens that come down every 5 rows or so. But if you're making a turn, it's only hung by one thing in the middle. So the TVs would
No.
like swing. So dude, but like a movie's going on, we're all bobbing our heads like trying to make sure we catch the
Oh, I would
scene. Like
get sick. Oh my God.
it was a good thought process, but hey, are we
Yeah,
gonna
poor
complain? Like,
execution.
yeah, hey, thanks for buying this team bus for us, but you butchered it, buddy. Like,
Wait, so that was Stevenson or
no. This
Vermont?
was this was the Vermont squad.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the
Good owner
EHL.
right there.
Oh yeah, we don't play around there in Vermont.
Yeah. Wow.
Now I actually loved Vermont. It was I would say for a junior hockey experience, like that's a really solid place. Like Burlington, Vermont. It's cool. It's a little out there, a lot of hippies, but it's beautiful. You got the mountains and the water. Like I look back at the junior lifestyle, and I think 1 year in Boston and 2 years in Vermont, two solid spots to
Yeah,
to,
for
to
sure.
live for
And
3 years.
what a time for you to throw up that throwback Vermont Lumberjacks Instagram today.
I'm telling you, I'm in this mode, and you know what? The spit and chicklets, I used to chirp it all the time, but it gives me that vibe of the locker room and the
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
one thing being retired that I forgot how awesome it was. Like for example, dude, remember me in the locker room dancing, like the Brodes dances, and just being
Oh, they were
ridiculous.
famous. What was the
Yeah,
song we listened to? It was by LMFAO.
yeah,
Remember that
no,
band?
no, it
Yeah, it
was,
was.
it was. I thought it was like a
Yeah.
huge mix where it was me and Gleason during the dynamic warm ups, and we would dance. Sophie needs a what? Sophie needs a
Oh yeah,
ladder, a
yeah. No, that
ladder.
was a different song I think we listened to. Is that I don't think that's the one you danced to.
No, whatever.
Remember
But
the year we both missed prom because we thought we had a game and it got canceled?
I didn't realize it went canceled. But we went to Chipotle,
Yeah,
didn't
we
we?
both just couldn't get dates, but we made up an excuse that we had a game.
Come on, no way. We had it. Did we have a game that got canceled? Why would it get
Yeah,
canceled though?
yeah, I don't know.
That's phenomenal. We couldn't
Yeah,
get
so then
dates. Come on, that's stop. My listeners are listening. You're embarrassing me in front of all my friends.
yeah, no, but seriously, we had a game and it got canceled, and then we just went to the hangout spot after for
Oh, that's
after
right.
prom. Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. So, speaking with that Comcast team, and we played there, that was an unreal group of guys. And this wasn't even juniors. This is before juniors. This is a U18 team. And we had some good times, man. Like, we made a nationals run. I mean, would you say you. It's so hard to put it in perspective because it was so long ago. But that group of guys. There might be one group that I had that was more special than that. Do you have was your Princeton squad closer than that U18 team?
My Princeton team's actually really close. I still hang out with a lot of those guys, but
Yeah,
I'm also only 1 year removed from school, so that that kind of
it's still
helps. And
fresh.
and yeah, we all go back for Princeton reunions and stuff. So we always look forward to that. But yeah, that Comcast team was special, and I think something that's crazy about it that like kind of puts it into perspective is how far away we lived from each other. Like we were in South Jersey, we had people in North Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. But like on weekends when we didn't have games, we would still all find a way to get together 2 hours away. Remember when we went to Fioli's and we drove 2 hours and then you couldn't even stay awake in the car ride home? Like
Yeah.
just like the fact that we would still get together for parties and to meet up to hang out, even though we had to drive that far, I think speaks to just how close that team
Yeah,
was.
especially for a triple A
Yeah.
team that's not juniors. Like when you're in juniors, you live together, you're on your own. It's a different type of atmosphere because you're like a family almost. This was, we just started to drive. Everyone's meeting. It is. It's such
Yeah, this is the
a
days where you're
unique
still
situation.
asking your parents permission to drive 2 hours so you can go to the party and if their
Yeah.
parents will be home or
Yeah,
not.
they want to speak to the mom first to make sure
Yeah.
it's okay that we,
Will Mrs.
we're.
Brodes be home? Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I remember there was one time we were knocked out of the tournament and we had some fun at the hotel, and I might have ruined the night because I wanted music. So I
Yeah.
went and grabbed a buddy's laptop, and we might have got a little rowdy, and the laptop was there, and we all got caught because the laptop had the person's name on
Yeah.
it. So I got to take
First
the blame.
yeah, first weekend of the year too. The regular season hadn't even started. I think it was the pre-tournament in
No,
Vermont.
no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it was
No
still in August, I'm
way.
pretty sure.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. We were all just getting it and I don't know if you mentioned that the party was in the parking lot of
Yeah,
the
in the backyard in
so
like a barn. Remember there were like
so
haystacks?
it's no, it's when it snows out, a hotel keeps salt around.
Oh,
So it was a
that's
tent
right.
to keep the salt dry, but there was no salt in there. So we parked the truck in front of it. And then we all went under there, and there was a brick wall on the other side. So we were like, perfect, we're excluded. No one will find us.
Think about how stupid that was. Like
Yeah,
how
we brought a table down. We had beer pong going. It was great. We had the music blasting, which we thought was cool at the time. And then the cops show up. We all take off, and
as
no
if
one no
no
one
one
decides
would
to grab the
see us.
laptop. Yeah, right. There were rooms like 30
Uh,
feet from us.
that is so phenomenal, man. Like it's just funny to think about these times. I'm on a huge kick of because I've always in the last few months just been so disappointed with hockey without ended. It's like I put all my emotions in how much the hockey sucked, and I've been on this big rampage of the great times. So this is just
Yeah,
awesome
yeah, this
talking
is
about
a
all the
great
good
timing on the
times, man.
reminisce. And we should add that I don't think our coach Jared Beach knows that yet. So hopefully
So
he's
if
not
you're
listening to
listening,
this.
if you're listening,
I
no,
still think to this day he doesn't know.
no, he doesn't, man. I saw him at the
Yeah,
Flyers game, and it was when Flyers and Calgary came to town, and he was like, "Oh, how's your stuff doing? I've been meaning to check it out." So that's a big
that's
sympathy. Like, hey, I see
I
it.
don't
I'm not
listen to your
listening.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So we're
So
we're all
he's not.
safe. He's not gonna find out.
Could you
Okay.
imagine we get a text tomorrow? Like,
Yeah, that'd
yo,
be great.
boys, are you kidding me? That is funny.
Yeah, that
But
was great.
I do want to touch on one thing. I know you're not a huge sportsman, of course, not to the level of myself, but you are an Eagles fan, and you do love fantasy football. And it's funny because as much as I'm a sports guy, I'm not big on fantasy football. I don't see the drive. I just like to watch the greatness of the actual sport. But you're really into it. Before we get into fantasy football, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, give me the layout of the scenario with where you were and how it played out.
Yeah, so not really a sportsman, but definitely a huge football fan. I actually would probably rather sit down on Sunday and watch 8 hours of red zone than a hockey game. I
And
just
that's
love
so
watching
fair.
football.
And you know
Yeah,
what? Even from,
you
I
know,
think every sportsman in the world would agree with you on that one.
yeah, I love hockey. I love playing hockey, but just sitting down and watching football, it's great. And yeah, back to your question though, the Eagles. I want to say it was my junior year at Princeton, and yeah, so it was on a Sunday, so it was kind of pretty casual for everyone but me because we didn't have any other fans except maybe one New England fan on the team. So everyone else was just mostly Canadian, doesn't really care that much. But obviously, it's a big day for me. So we were all piled into the one big dorm room watching it, and I might have had a few more than anyone else. So I was enjoying the game, and
I don't believe you.
I know you're not a big drinker while watching the game because your heart rate's already too high.
Normally, I can do it in that environment. I actually couldn't do it. Not
Yeah, it
that
was too
game.
much. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was screaming up and down the halls and pretty excited. And then actually the one New England fan, it was great. He was a freshman. Oh no, it was actually my senior year at the time. I'm sorry. And I was a senior, and he had to wear the Eagles jersey around for the next two
Oh,
days around
love
campus,
that.
which was nice. Yeah.
See, I had an environment where I was watching with a Patriots fan, but he was one of those obnoxious Patriots fans. So one of the things I did was pregame. I was like, "Yo, go into my room. I'll set up my camera. I wanted to do like a pregame, a postgame with him involved. So, this was him in my room. Oh, you think the Eagles are going to win? Do you know Tom Brady? Do you know Bill Belichick? Like, he's one of those obnoxious Patriots fans. So I still have the
Right,
file
right.
saved on my computer. But
Didn't post that one?
no, I still have it, but I didn't
Yeah.
put it up there. I was too emotionally crazy that night. But it was, when the Patriots took the lead there with that Gronk touchdown, he's celebrating in my face. We got into it a little bit here and there, but it wasn't anything crazy. But when
Right.
it was the 2 minute drill and the Eagles were up, I shook his hand. I'm like, man, we've talked about this all week long, all 2 weeks long. We have Tom Brady with the football with 2 minutes left with the Eagles up. Is there any better way for this to play out for us? Like, shake my hand. And he did it, but he wasn't really into it. And the
Yeah.
strip sack happened. We get the football. I'm crying. And when the buzzer sounded at the end, he literally slammed my back door, screaming the F word. I hear him in his car. Like, he was a sore loser, and he didn't talk to me for like a week.
Really?
Yeah, it was that fired up. I swear to
Wow.
God. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I think I was the obnoxious fan in the case of me and my friend, but I know if the Eagles lost, I definitely wouldn't have pulled that one. I probably would have had to wear the Patriots jersey and
Yeah,
suck
yeah,
it
yeah.
up for a couple days.
Well, I think he was so pissed off that, there were
Did you
three
guys have
Eagles
money on it
fans.
or just straight
No,
pride?
yeah,
Yeah.
just no. We didn't even
Wow.
bet anything. Like, he was just that disappointed because he was talking trash for so long. So to see it
Right.
happen and for the
Right.
Eagles to finally win a Super Bowl, Nick Foles, it was just
Yeah.
unreal.
He was
Now,
probably embarrassed and didn't because he
yeah,
didn't think it would actually
yeah.
happen.
Now,
Yeah.
are you a? Because obviously, football is your sport when it comes to passion with Philadelphia sports. Are you a Wentz believer? Like the whole Nick Foles Wentz thing, and it's obviously a huge conversation.
No,
Where are
yeah.
you?
I'm a Wentz guy. I
Yeah, me
mean,
too.
like I'm a huge football fan. I wouldn't say I know like that much about it to the extent where I'm like, able to break down why, but I always, why get rid of Wentz when he's that young and that good and
You're not
and
giving me
our second,
formulations and Doug Peterson
yeah,
play calls, man. Come on,
telling you
what are you
about
doing?
his Omaha 45 hot route. No, I can't do all that. But no, I was definitely on the Wentz train and a believer that we should obviously keep him.
Yeah, I agree. It's the right move, dude. This team is gonna be fun, man. Like it almost scares me that the expectations are this high because it's there. We are that deep. We are that solid, but it's almost scary to be that good because
Yeah.
it's so much pressure. It's so much pressure, but this team is good. We can do it again. We can make a run at this thing.
Is Wentz back? See, this is how little I know. Is he back
Okay.
week one?
Yeah, he's
He
he's
is?
like
Okay, he's
yeah,
good.
he is looking good and he's looking good in shorts, but you can see a different level of confidence in his throws and like he looks comfortable and it's just in shorts and like just a helmet and shorts, so it's not
Right, right,
real
right.
play calls, but he looks like he's ready to go and a lot of people are intrigued with that. So I'm
Right.
super excited for it,
And
man.
and correct me if I'm wrong. So 2 years ago is when he would have been MVP had he not got hurt.
Yes.
And then last year he was kind of playing through some like back pain or something,
Dude,
right?
like a broken back.
Yeah, so we're thinking like he's back to healthy. He's going to be
Yeah.
Carson Wentz from 2 years ago, and that's
Not
pretty
only the
scary.
not only the broken back, but he was playing with an ACL injury that he came back too soon from, which they say
Right.
he came back too soon and that hurt the back, and that's how. But his stats now, this is why I think stats are flawed. His stats are actually really good last year with a broken back. But he didn't play that well. But you just look at his statistical numbers.
Right.
It's insane that he even did what he did with a broken back. It's ridiculous to even think about. He has a broken back and he's throwing the football in the NFL.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nuts. That's almost like some of these NHL guys that after the Stanley Cup's over, yeah, he had 7 holes in his lungs, 7 collapsed ribs.
The one guy had 2 dislocated knees on the same knee. I'm like, what?
Let's go hockey real quick. Did you watch the Stanley Cup to that level, or once the season's over for you, you're checked out? How are you with the hockey after you're done playing?
I watched here and there for the playoffs. Like, obviously, I actually, for Game 7, honestly didn't tune in until the second period, I want to say. I was watching a show or something. I know you're not a big show guy, but...
Well, it depends on the show now. Are we going Jersey Shore? Are we going...
No. I actually believe I was watching MasterChef with my brother and his wife.
So, you chirp me for Jersey Shore, but you're going MasterChef?
Yeah, dude, MasterChef. Gordon Ramsay is a beauty.
No, listen, it's good television, that HGTV, but you can't chirp me for, my selection of Jersey Shore, Ink Master, and X's on the Beach, and then hit me with...
I have watched Jersey Shore from front to back. I like Ink Master. I chirp you for Kardashians and Bachelor. Or I don't even know if you watch that.
Not really. To be
No,
honest with you.
I mean, it's just horrible. The Kardashians is terrible.
But it's good bad, or it's bad good.
I think Jersey Shore is bad good. I've honestly never even given Kardashians a chance.
Well, that's on you, my friend. Now, listen, I
want to.
I run with that more than I actually watch it. I don't think I've watched it in 4 seasons. Like, I went through a phase where I crushed it and thought it was funny, but I don't tune in to that level anymore.
Yeah, that kind of goes with your personality of taking something and exaggerating how much you love it, or...
Whoa. Give me an example, because it's definitely not sports.
Luke Bryan back in the day when you liked him so much you bought a pillowcase.
Time out. I did not buy a pillowcase. That was a gift.
You used it though.
Yeah, because but I flipped it over when things occurred because that would just be weird. I did though.
The other side was also his face though.
No,
so
it wasn't.
Really
it was
matter.
A white blank pillowcase, and it was a joke. But I used it, dude. When I was driving up to Boston for the first time, I'll never forget this. When I was going to my first year of juniors, I had Rhonda the Honda, and I had 6 CDs. The aux cord was terrible, if you remember that. So 6 CDs. They were all Luke Bryan CDs, and I remember tweeting on my way up, "I'm not taking Luke Bryan off." And one of my new teammates, who I haven't met yet in real life, followed me so we can kind of meet before the season started.
Right.
And now me and him are like this. We still stay in touch. We're really super close.
Who is this, Valari?
No, not Valari. Keith Inman. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, yeah. He's the goalie there.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah, and we always joke around about it. It's like, man, did I think you were a tool bag when I saw that tweet for the first time? I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's now that you know me, like, it's funny as hell. But I did go. Me, Tim Fioli, Kenny Citron, we love Luke Bryan. In Luke Bryan's prime, it's great. I can't do him now, but his prime was fantastic. Come on, you were a fan then.
Oh, I was a fan. I'm saying of you taking it to the extent you asked for an example, and that was the first thing that came to mind.
That is so funny, man. Speaking of Luke Bryan, concerts and all that, are we going concertless this summer? We don't go concertless normally.
I don't think we're going to get a concert unless it's Kenny Chesney from now on, I feel.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I really don't think I want to go back to Camden for another concert.
We
possibly ever in my life. So
we used to go to 6 concerts a summer.
Yeah, I would literally buy the mega ticket and 8 whatever concerts it was. That's just an obnoxious amount of concerts for one
It
summer.
is, and realistically, because 3 of them are people you don't ever really even listen to, it's
Yeah,
more just let's
no.
go to have a good time. But we used to go, I would say, every other Saturday or every 3
Yeah, I mean,
Saturdays we
there's
would go.
only a
And
certain amount of weekends in the summer, so 8 is taking up a fair amount.
yeah, those were the good times. I was thinking about that yesterday, actually, talking to Kara about it. We just kind of ditched all concerts unless it's Kenny Chesney. No, Kenny's phenomenal, and I can see him 3,000 times. It's the same
Yeah,
show
of
every
course.
year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, how are you? So, you spent some time this year in Cleveland and Columbus. How is Ohio? Like, what are the two cities like? Are they similar? Are they completely different? What are the two
Um,
cities kind of like? I know they're blue collar cities, right? Both of them.
so Columbus is actually pretty, oriented around Ohio State. So there's like a short north area, it's called. It's kind of like young professionals, like, young 20s, late 20s crowd. And then everything else is just Ohio State. Like the campus is huge. There's a million students running around. There's actually quite a bit to do. It gets a bad rap, I think, Columbus, but I actually enjoy it. And then Cleveland for me is more like a downtown area, right? Like you have your skyscrapers and your businesses and stuff like that. So it's definitely more of like a downtown vibe in Cleveland.
Yeah, so both are cool. You went to a
Yeah.
Browns game, didn't you?
Yep. Early in the year, we went to, oh my God, I couldn't even tell you who it was against, but got
Awesome.
myself a Jarvis Landry jersey, wore it once for the game, haven't brought it out since, but I think it was a good purchase still. No, that's a good time.
Awesome experience there. What was it? Was it? Have you been to a legit Eagles game like in the recent years to even compare?
Honestly, I haven't been home in
That's the thing. That's what
however
I was
many
thinking about.
years. Oh, you know what? A couple years ago I did. It actually wasn't at Lincoln Financial. It was at the Giants Stadium. So
One thing I was thinking about,
I did go to one.
but I don't know how it would play out. One day soon here in my life there will be a bachelor party at some point here, and
Oh,
I was well not like tomorrow or anything, but it's everyone. It's that time of year. It seems with
yeah,
our
of
friend group,
course.
there's going to
Of
be a
course.
time where it's Brodes' time to pop the question. But I was thinking it might not work out due to the fact of the time of the Eagle season. But what if we went to like Nashville or Tennessee when the Eagles play the Titans and we
Yeah.
go and we sit 3 rows from the field or something cool and we experience something unreal as instead of what we do when we all go and we do the same thing
Right.
4 nights in a row. But what if we
Right.
go to like an away game wherever we look at the Eagles schedule, we set it up, but it's going to be so hard because the season's September through January and
Yeah, I was
everyone
gonna say
plays
when's the
hockey.
first game? Because everyone, well, whenever that bachelor party may be, I don't know who will still
Yeah,
be playing, but
right.
I'm sure a
Well,
few people will still be playing for sure.
I would hope so. Let's say that. I
Yeah,
would
me
hope so.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you will be. Now, do you think you'll come to the Flyers? Would that be cool though, or would it be too much?
Um, I get to live home with my parents. No, I'm kidding.
I get to live in my old room, and I was little. I
Yeah,
could just live in your house where you lived in the same room,
no, my
and yeah.
parents turned their back on me and sold the house I lived in for 23 years without asking my permission.
Could you have told them no, and they would have been like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you're
that's
right."
my house. That's my house. I'm gonna show up and tell whoever's living there, like, hey, I'm grabbing a coffee
No,
quick.
you just walk in as if it's normal. Like, "Hey, mom," you
Funny
just
story. A few times now, my dad has gotten home from the train station from work and driven to that house,
that's
and he
so
gets all the way
funny.
there, and then he's like, "Oh, yeah, we moved."
Just your body takes over, and you don't even think about
Yeah,
where you're going
honestly, going through
anymore.
the motions.
But would it be too much, you think, or would that be
Oh
something you
yeah, I
would
totally
want
forgot
to
your
do?
question.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think it's so far away just because I'm just getting started. But I mean, I think anyone would obviously love to play for their hometown team, right? Like you grew up cheering for that team, wearing the jerseys to the game. So like, just I'm even excited. I haven't played in Philly yet, so just to play a game there would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can imagine playing for your hometown team would be pretty special.
Well, I just listened to the Joffrey Loophole thing on Spitting Chicklets. By the way, you have to spitting chicklets. By the way, I don't know what the hell I just said. You have to, you have to listen to that. It is
Yeah, no, I
hysterical.
usually listen to them. I haven't gotten around to this
Yeah,
one yet
but
though.
one of the things he said was, he grew up right outside the Edmonton area, and he was so young in his career when he played for Edmonton. He was saying how he wished he was more in his 30s, so he knew kind of what it was like to be a pro longer, and you enjoy it differently. You embrace it compared to when you're 22. It's, hey, I'm in the NHL, and you're more excited and you're anxious more than you are prepared. But one thing he said that cracked me the hell up was when he started to realize retirement was in the future, it went from listening to pump up music, going to the rink, to having a coffee, talking to listening to talk radio, and it's like, I'm just going to work. At some point you become a veteran and you're listening to, I don't know, Oprah's podcast on your way to the rink or something instead of Drake or J. Cole getting you fired up.
Fired up.
What is your pregame music?
I don't do music, actually.
You don't do music?
No.
Come on. That's a violation, I think.
No, I know. I'm pretty chill too. Just
no way.
Drive to the rink, hang out for a bit, have a couple coffees, and just kind of chill out.
No. I don't believe you. I can't do that. I'm the obnoxious guy with the beats on the side of the dynamic warm up, dancing by myself, getting hyped.
I mean, in headphones?
Yeah.
No, I don't do the headphones usually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. What, you just more mellow? It's more to calm yourself down, no reason to get too anxious?
There's kind of a background story. It was kind of my freshman through junior year. I was an absolute psycho before game. Actually all day. Every single thing had to go perfect.
Your OCD kicked in?
Everything from 9 a.m. until the game started. Same songs, same walk the same way, eat the same food, sit in the same seat. And then I'd get to the rink, put my headphones in, and I wouldn't talk to anyone. Even if someone said something to me, I'd just nod or I wouldn't talk. And halfway through my junior year, I was like, this is so stressful. I can't do this anymore. So and then I did it my senior year too, and now I kind of just carried it into pro too. I just try and relax more than get uptight.
That makes sense. You were
have a coffee,
maybe.
Just talk to people normal, right? Me and you could have a conversation like this, and then you can go play a game of hockey. Once the game starts or once warm up starts, you're going to prepare. Anyway, you're going to be ready to go. You know what you have to do. So for me, it's more about just relaxing now.
Yeah, no doubt. One thing that I realized in my junior career was I didn't listen to music and I didn't prepare. And me in the locker room, outgoing, obnoxious, and I would do that pregame. And I think I did it too much to the extreme where I wasn't focusing on plays that I would make, and I wouldn't focus on anything at all. And I was just being goofy, and then I would go out there and play. And my one stall mate, and the way it was set up was there were 2 stalls, the whiteboard for the coach, 2 stalls, and then a horseshoe. So we were kind of in front. And he was the captain. He sat next to me. And he was like, just try listening to music one day, man. Maybe that'll just focus on plays that you'll make. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. We'll give it a shot. And just the focus level going in the game, I'm playing that game. I'm like, wow, I enjoyed being that focus over being goofball Brodes dancing before the game and dynamic warm-up. So I went the opposite way. I went from being too calm to the focus level because I thought that made me make smarter plays and all,
Yeah, I'm by no means dancing in the hallway before the game.
Come on, some respected NHL veterans are who's this guy? You're in your 8th game, you're just being dancing in the locker room.
No, it's more about just calming myself down and being relaxed. Not so much working on my dance moves before.
You're stomping on the logo. No, come on, that's terrible. I would never.
Just counting how much money you owe and find each step you take on it.
I could only imagine the NHL fines, if you will. Some hefty. What does it go to a end of the year party? What does the fines do? Because in juniors, it's we're gonna have a party at the end of the year. We'll get some beer for the boys. Where does the money go when you're at that level?
There's not really a court or anything.
There's no
fines to that extent.
Okay.
I mean, if you miss a meeting or miss a flight or something.
Yeah, those are more important things, right?
Yeah, so it's just kind of stuff like that. And there's a team fund for sure. But fines in pro are a little bit different. It's when you put money on the board, so you bet on the team to win or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So your first game, you have to, stuff like that. You have to do that, right?
Yeah, you put money on the board, and if the team wins, then it goes towards the team fund.
And secretly, you're like, I hope we lose. I hope we lose. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's funny, though. But yeah, no, this was fun, man. It's fun to just kind of hang out and kick back, have a cold one. And I wish I had a White Claw. Is that bad? I'm on the White Claw train, man. I used to chirp all you guys for having the White Claws. One day by the pool, I'm a changed man.
Yeah, like I said, you got to keep it light. It's the summer, so the White Claw is the best way to do it. There's actually a really good one now. So White Claws are what? Like, I'm going to sound like a fitness freak, freak right now, but by no means am I. But the White Claw and Michelob have like 3 or 4 carbs. There's a new one in Canada that we got to get in the States. It's called Nude, and it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, like 90 calories.
Wow.
And they're phenomenal. Yeah.
Wow. See, this is where it kills me because I love them. I really do. But if we're going out one night and all the guys are getting together, we go out to the bar or whatever, I can't get them there. People do that. People genuinely buy them at the bar, 12 o'clock, 11. No, this is like a beach thing or you're hanging out by the pool. It's 80 degrees out. You're hanging outside. That's when you have them. But people buy them as if they're drinking them all night.
No, you're not doing that. No, not at all.
No. Okay, well, we got about 5 minutes left in this podcast, so I guess we can end it on how many times I would toast you wide in our program. I mean, come on.
What?
What?
Come on, me playing defense? What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I would stop you every time.
I think what we would talk about, and you'll know exactly what I'm going to say, is every time we're on a one-on-one and I'm going under your stick, and you know it's coming, but I'm still pulling it off.
Yeah, but guess what? I'm staring right at the logo. Staring right at the logo.
And then you fall right forward, and I'm going in on the B-way.
Oh, man. I hated hockey then. There was a good time when I didn't hate hockey, though. But no, it's I'm excited to get on the ice in the summer, but this is the thing. You guys all come home and you all skate. My hockey equipment's thrown in a box in my backyard, and I don't touch it all year because I'm not going to go skate around.
How are you going to skate with all that gear baking in the sun and that black bucket in the backyard?
But then all you guys come home, and I want to get on the ice, get the feel, and you guys are so involved in, I don't know, getting better and stupid things like that. And it's like, I don't want to focus on my foot speed right now. You guys are doing drills to focus on your foot speed, which I respect. But, you're killing me out there. And then you guys start skating fast, and I'm like, guys, it's been 2 years. Like, what am I supposed to do? Chip it off the glass?
Well, we'll let you know when the skate is next week and get you out there.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, bodies are bodies, right? Bodies are bodies. But I want to play forward, man. Let me throw some sauce out there. I'm telling you, you let me play my game, and it's a different Brodes. This is a retired Brodes. You'd be surprised. I'm telling you.
More relaxed out there.
Exactly.
Focus on the skill.
Won't be as into the music and the mental preparation.
Yeah, you'll show up to the skate next week with your headphones in.
Do you remember we always would pretend like it's 24/7 and it's like Hunter Brody and Eric Robinson leave the bus. It's like I do that for men's league. Like I have on my AirPods and I'm walking.
You show up in a suit.
A suit, that's fantastic. Now, I would expect your suit game has to pick up a little bit now that you're entering.
I was actually going to wear one when you called me just as a joke, but I was like, wow, that's a lot of effort just for a joke. So I'm just going to put a t-shirt on. Yeah,
that's funny. But I'm sure you have to up the outfits and when it comes to pregame stuff. Or can you still get away with what you were rocking before?
No, I've definitely
upgraded.
Made some upgrades. Yeah.
I was a Macy's guy in my junior days. I don't know if that gets by.
No one knows as long as you don't show them the inside tag of your jacket. You're fine. You can just tell them it's something else.
Hey, Macy's has some good suits. It was a nice blue one. All right. Yeah, that's the thing with my school is you could get away with. I like the suit look. The suit looks good. The no tie thing with the one button undone. But you could also go. It was it wasn't so harsh and it wasn't heavily criticized. You could go with the sweater vest with the tie underneath. It didn't have to be suit the whole time. So you can go with different variations pregame. Were you always suit guy?
In college, yeah. Actually, in Cleveland and I think most of the American Hockey League, it's a lot more relaxed.
Well, I think your brother at one point wore the Eagles jersey to the game when it was like an Eagles playoff game, right? With the tie underneath, something like that.
Yeah. A couple of guys did that, but I mean, that's just a one-time thing. But I'm talking like ABC pants from Lulu, like dressed up as dress pants that you can get away with, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like it's a lot more relaxed.
Yeah, big time. All right, well, that was a good time, and so was this Michelob Ultra, to be honest with you. I don't know how
Yeah.
many you're crushing backstage there, but...
That's it's a nice water right there,
Yeah, yeah,
staying
yeah,
hydrated
yeah. I
during the
know.
week. Yeah.
You got to work out in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
What day is it? Upper body, lower body, going back squats?
It's just a conditioning day actually, so
Are,
we'll be
are
on the
those good,
bike.
though? Because you don't have to lift as much?
No, this one is awful. So I'm actually dreading tomorrow because, uh, yeah, no, they're just really bad and didn't
Yeah.
go well last week.
Coming from a retired man, I think one of the things I won't miss is, the hang cleans, the deadlifts. Like at some point at the end, like my last year at school, when I wasn't feeling it anymore at all, and I can tell I didn't feel like playing anymore. Talk about dreading. Like I will never deadlift. I will never back squat, front squat. Like I'm not doing that anymore. I went through a
Yeah,
stage where 2 weeks I did retired, and it ended real quick.
yeah, not working out anymore.
No, no, come on,
Yeah,
stop.
have
That's
the
funny.
just have the white claws and then you don't have to
Yeah,
work out.
and the Stella Artois.
Yeah,
So,
it's a little heavy, but
yeah, hey, it is what it is. I'm a sportsman now. You don't have to worry about the figure.
yeah, of course, got to look
That's
good on
funny.
camera though.
Yeah, well, come on, man. When I wear black, it makes you look skinnier. I know all the tips here. I'm
Oh
not. I'm
wow,
no
I should have
rookie.
worn a black
Yeah,
shirt.
that's what it should have done. I'm no rookie sports analyst.
Yeah, no heads up on the black shirt, huh?
Hey, wear extra white. No, but
Honestly.
with that being said, thank you so much for hopping on. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.